Yeah, and actually we started with extent report, and actually there was some problem in the last session. So extent reports. Okay, so the problem was actually uh, it was related to some jar files. So what I've done is I have actually deleted all the jars and actually taken the older jars, right? So older in the sense the jars from some another project, right? So here I can observe the extent report version is 5, and let's say test ng version is 7.1.0. There was some other dependency issue, right, because of which actually we were getting the error. Okay, so quickly I'm going to explain you the whole code once again, and then we are going to create the report or run the test, and we will see how the report is created. Okay, so I have seen this, and actually report is getting created, but I will delete this, and you'll see that uh, the report is actually opened somewhere. Not. Okay, let it be. So once it is created, I think it cannot be deleted because it has certain dependencies. So let me just remove the dependency for a while. Okay, let it be. Fine. So initially, actually, this file will not be there. Right? It will be just a blank report. Even this report folder would not be there. Right? So it is actually created because I actually executed this program. Right? So let's understand this once again. So let me just see whether I have kept this into the notes or not. Here it is. So we must have some steps here. Okay, steps are not here. Okay, let it be. So I'll just repeat the steps so that uh, you will also get revised, right? So there are few steps to generate report. First thing is that you have to initialize objects. Which objects? Reporter, then extend report object, right? So reporter object and extend report object you have to initialize first. So how will you initialize? First, create object of extend spark reporter. Okay, extend spark reporter, let's call it as reporter, right? And set path for reports to be created. Okay, so create object of extend spark reporter and set the path for reports to be created. So how do we create the object? So object, let's say extend spark reporter, let's say reporter is equal to new extend spark reporter. Okay, and inside this we will give path to report. Okay, so path to the report file. So reporter object is created. Next step is create object of extend report. Okay, so create object of extend report like this. Extend reports, let's say extend is equal to new extend extend reports. Okay, so object is created. Then attach this reporter, attach reporter to the extend object. Okay, so attach this reporter to the extend object. So how can we do that? So we have seen extend dot attach reporter. Okay, so extend dot attach reporter, add the object of reporter, so reporter. Okay, so extend dot attach reporter, the reporter. So in this way we can actually attach the reporter. Then fourth step, set some preliminary info about the test report. Okay, for example, document title, then let's say project title, then other details, right? So other details like uh, developer name, tester's name, so on. So these are actually optional, right? So these are optional and we have seen how to set that, right? So this is actually initialization. We have done this in the last class. Okay, so extend spark reporter, reporter is equal to new extend spark reporter. This is the path we have given. So let's say reports is the folder name, report.html is the file name. So at this place the file will be created, new file will be created. Okay, so here I am trying to set document title and report name. So that set document title, set report name. So these two are actually optional, you can avoid this, right? But it's good to have report name and document title, right? So document title you will see something like this and report name you will see on the report. Okay, so reporter.config set document title, reporter.config set report name, right? Then after attaching the report, uh, I can set some system info, right? So this is key value pair, key value pair. So you can decide what key you want, right? So let's say company name, project name, tester's name, test lead name, right? So here it is. Fine. Now just that you have to create test, right? At the start of your test, your first line would be extend test. Test is equal to extend dot create test, and inside it pass a string that will be the name of the test. Okay. Then after that your test is there, and at the end you have to write here extend dot flush. Flush will actually help you to write your report, right? So in between I have written test.info, test.info, test.info. So this is just a log, this is optional, but it actually helps you what is actually happening inside your test. Okay, so now our extend report code is almost uh, done. So I'll run this and let's just see what would be my output. The execution is started. Let me run this once again. So right click and run. Simple operation is this. Just a URL is going to be opened. Okay, so URL is open. The test is finished. Okay, now let's go to the report folder. So here there is a report folder. So if it is not there, then it will be created. If it is there, so it will be overwritten. So this is the report file. So just open it in the browser. Okay, and you can observe that here there is one test, and this is the test log. That is, browser is open, browser is maximized, URL is opened. Right. So this is way. This is how actually we have seen one test actually is actually showing or getting shown in the reports, right? So what we will do is, let's do a slight one more change or one more thing, that we'll have some more tests. Okay, so this is only one test, so let's have some more tests. Mm, where is that extend report demo reports? Inside report there is extend report. Okay, good. So now I will repeat the tests here, and let's just change. Actually, there's scripting logic is open. We'll call this as, okay, and so let's say this is my test one. Let's have few multiple tests here. So copy and paste, copy and paste. Okay. So here it is, let's say 3. Here it is, let's say 2. Okay. So now we will have some different set of website. So let's just say Facebook is opened, and gmail.com, Gmail is opened. Okay, save this. Okay, fine. Now let's execute this program. Now 3 tests are going to be executed, so right click and run. Okay, so earlier when I actually run the single test, so that time this was the report, right? So by the way, till the time it is getting executed, so let's just see, there is one more section here, and here you can see my project name. So this is the document title. Okay, and here you can see all regression tests. So this is the report title, right? Here you can observe project company name, scripting logic, project name HRM, tester's name Amol Zagre, right? So those actually we have mentioned in the initialization, right? So you can see the reports here, and here test pass, because I am not right, I haven't written any asserts, so all tests are pass, and here as there is only single test, so I can see there is only one test is passed. Okay, so now that this test is executed, each individual website is actually open. So I'll now refresh the test report. Okay, so here you can see my test one, my test one. Okay, so actually name of the test is actually, I can write the name of the test. So what we'll do, I'll write, let's say, Facebook Facebook open. Okay. So Facebook open. Let's call this as this is actually Facebook open. So this is Gmail open. This we will say, let's say, scripting open. Okay. So in this way, the names, corresponding names, will be there at the while the test creation. Okay. Now let's put some assertions here. Okay. So let's suppose I want to set some pass fail criteria. So if suppose the web page is open and if the page title is tutorials website. Okay, so I'll verify this with tutorials websites, right? If this is the page title, then my test will be passed. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, so I'll write here asserts asserts assert dot I'll use TestNG now. I guess I've used TestNG only. Fine. So assert equals, so actual would be driver dot get title, right? And expected would be this, right? And error message would be something like uh, this is not a tutorials website. So this is not a tutorials website. Okay, so similarly I will have the asserts here as well as here. Okay, so this is for tutorials website, this is for Facebook. So for Facebook I will have, let's say, the page title here as uh, page title. By the way, we haven't seen after executing the changed name, so that also we'll see. So this is the page title here, so I'll just change the page title. So Facebook, so this is not a Facebook website. Then okay, so it is actually Gmail. Okay, so let me paste it here. This is not a Gmail website. And what would be the page title for Gmail? It is just a Gmail. Okay, now there is one important thing that in asserts, if suppose uh, the assertion error comes, it means that if suppose expected and actual results actually does not matches, so we know that assert actually throws some exception, and if we know that if this exception is thrown, so the further statements in the execution will not execute. Okay, so what we will do is we will just handle this exception by surrounding with try catch block. Okay, and we will actually get the exception and print it on the report here. Okay, so 1 second, actually something is actually hanged here. Yeah, so let's have here try, then catch, and here I'll write assertion error. So because this actually throws a particular types of exception, so assertion error. Okay, assertion error E. Okay, and what if suppose this statement is executed perfectly, then actually test is passed. So I'll write test dot pass. Let's say we are on Gmail. Okay, test is passed. Okay, and just in case if the test is failed, so I'll write here test dot fail. Okay, and then e dot get message. Okay, e dot get message, it will print the message on the report. Okay, so same we will copy for other tests as well. Here it is. So instead of this, we'll write this. we are on Facebook. Okay, copy this and paste it here. Copy this, paste it here. We are on the scripting logic. Let's say I intentionally fail one website. So let's say Facebook is opened. So I'll just change the page title. So page title here is 1. Okay, Facebook login or sign up 1. Okay, so again it is hanged. Let me just close the unwanted tabs so that we should get more or the maximum memory. Okay, so now let's run this class. Okay, out of which one test is going to be failed, but in the console we will not see that failure because we have handled that failure using try catch block. Okay, okay, second website is opened and Gmail is opened. Okay, so execution is done here and let's just see the report. Let's refresh the report. You see here scripting open, Facebook open, Gmail open. So Facebook open is actually failed. So here you see blue color is used for info. I'll just try to zoom it. Okay, so blue color is used for info, green color is used for pass, and red color is used for fail. So here you can see the test case name. So here observe here a failed is written, right? And what is the log here? So this is not a Facebook website. Expected was this, but found this, right? So this is the error log that you can observe on the report, right? So now actually here only 3 tests are there, but you will have hundreds of tests there, right? And if you want to just see the failed cases, so you have a filter here, so you select from here failed, so you will see only the failed cases. If you want to see only the pass cases, so select here pass, you will see only the pass cases, right? So here let's see the dashboard. So look at this, the dashboard is here. 2 tests are passed, 1 failed, 0 skipped, right? So 1 test failed, 2 tests passed. So this is started here and ended on this date and time. Okay, so here you can have a log of this as well, right? So yes, so in this way you can see the reports here, right? So yes, is this clear up to this? Right, because the next topic is actually how to add the screenshot into it. So that's what we are going to see, and we are going to add the screenshot after failure of the tests. But yes, please confirm, have you understood up to this how to generate extent report? This is very easy. Yes. Okay, so please explain one more time. Okay, what is that you didn't understood? Yes, which part is, because this part we have already taken in the last session. I have already repeated this, and of course I'll, if needed, I'll repeat the whole thing once again, no doubt about that. But can you tell me any specific thing that the extent report code? Okay, so extent report code, the initialization part, is it the initialization part that you didn't understood? Okay, fine. because the rest of the things are quite straightforward. Fine. So let me just talk about this. So these are the steps here, right? So you have to remember these steps, and that's it. So extend report. So to create the extend report, you have to initialize some objects. How to initialize? Just the three steps. So create the extend Spark reporter object and set the path for the reports to be created. Okay, so this is the step. Extend Spark reporter. Reporter is equal to new extend Spark reporter. Set the path here, right? So you can give any path, but it should be like this, right? So let's say reports slash report.html. Next is what? Next is create the object of extend report. So extend report, extend is equal to new extend report. So object is created. Third one is what? Attach the reporter to the extend report object. How to attach that? Extend dot attach reporter. Okay, so these three steps are done. So these two, this is the first step, this is the second step, and this is the third step. So those lines you can see here, these are actually optional, right? So this actually sets some info, right? So for example, set document title actually sets the document title, set report name actually sets the report name, and set system info. So here you can have any key value pair, right? So the company name, this is not a standard, you can write anything here, right? So project name, testers name, test list name, right? So write here any key value pair and it will appear in the reports here. So you can see it is appeared here. So whatever key value pair you will write, so it will appear here. So you can see all the regression test. This is the report name. This is the document title that I have written. Okay. So this is actually the initialization part. And in test, so nothing is much. Just write the initialization part of the test, right? So extend test is equal to extend dot create test. Write the test name. You can write any name, and at the end of the test you have to write extend dot flush. In between, wherever you want, you can write logs. You can write the log using test dot info. Write into double quotes whatever you want, right? For example, this is the action that is opening the browser, so I have written here open the browser, right? So similarly, after execution of the assert statement, if the assert statement is executed successfully, then it is actually passed, the test is actually passed. So I have written here test.pass, right? If there is an error or exception thrown by the assertion error, right? So in that case, we say that actually this is actually failed. So test.fail, and in exception handling we have learned that how to get the message, right? So using e.get message we can get the message of the exception, right? So same thing we have repeated for all the three tests, and in this way we can see that the reports are here. Okay, so this is the log, pass or fail. Fine. Okay, so the next thing is that how to attach the screenshot here. How to attach the screenshot here. So remember, taking screenshot is not the functionality of extend report, right? Taking screenshot is actually the functionality provided by the Selenium, and how that we have seen in the previous session, right? So extend report has just a simple function that actually helps you to attach an image onto the report. Okay, but that image you have to generate, and its path also you have to provide, right? So I'll just tell you. So here at one place I'll take a screenshot where the test is getting failed. So let's say this Facebook is getting failed. So here I'll add test dot add screen capture from path, and here you have to put the path. Okay, here you have to put the image path, and that particular image will be attached to your this particular test case. Okay, wherever this line is there, at that point the whatever screen is there inside the browser, its screenshot will be taken, right? So how to add the image? So what we will do is we will create a method that will not only take a screenshot, but also it will generate some file name or some path. Okay, so uh, let's create a utility here, and we already have one code for taking screenshot. I'll just copy that. So let's say util. Okay, so util, inside it let's create a class, let's say screenshot. Okay, so screenshot, and here I will create a method which is public, and I will also make it static because static method don't need a object to call those. So static, let's say take screenshot. Okay, take screenshot, void take screenshot, public static void take screenshot. Instead of void, I'll keep a return type as a string so that I can return file name or a path name. Okay, so taking screenshot. Okay, so let me just search for the code wherein we have already created screenshot. Okay, testng demo real code. So I don't know where we have taken the screenshot. Assert demo. Parameters demo. By the way, have we learned the screenshot? I don't remember. And here I can find. Yes, we learned. Okay. Demo screenshot. Here it is. Demo screenshot. So here we have the code. I'll just copy this. So take screenshot up to this. This is actually the relevant code. Okay, so let's add this inside this. Let's remove the unwanted things. So here driver, we need a driver for taking a screenshot. So for driver, I'll just pass a parameter with driver. Okay, so here, so we will take the driver as a parameter. So whatever runtime value of the driver will be there, so we will take that. Okay, so now what we will do, we will create a folder inside this report folder. Let's say screenshot, and inside that we will store the screenshots. Okay, so let me just write here reports. Okay, reports, then double slash screenshots, double slash this file name. Okay, so image name. So what I'll do is I will return this image name, just the image name. Here return img. Okay, so this is the image name. So I am going to get the image name. So by just calling this, it will not only take the screenshot, but also I'll get the image name here. So let's go to the code. Yeah, so here it is. So here let's say plus take screenshot, pass here driver. Okay, and let's import the class so that, yeah, so take screenshot. So also it is thrown exception or not? I have exception. Okay, so now this is just a file name. Okay, so path actually includes the complete path, let's say. So now actually we are already inside the screenshots. As soon as the screenshot will be taken, we'll be inside the screenshot. So let's come out of the folder screenshot. So dot is the operator is used to come out of the screenshot folder. So screenshots, and dot will be we will come out of the screenshot, and from report perspective we have screenshot slash file name. Okay, so inside reports there will be a folder, and inside that there will be a file name. So screenshot slash file name. Okay, so this is actually the way to actually get the relative path of the screenshot. Let's just see whether it works or not. Okay, so I have not done any new thing. So I have just added the screenshot code here, and I will return the file name here, and the file path I have just altered it slightly, right? So here report slash screenshots. Okay, save this extend reports. So again we will right click and run all the tests. So run. I will just close the old browsers. Okay, if everything is correct, then we must get the screenshot at that particular place. Okay, so everything is actually executed. So let's just see the report. Let's refresh it at Facebook, and you can see the screenshot is here, right? So this is the screenshot for Facebook. I can see it here. So its attachment is here, right? So you can see the screenshot attached on this report, right? So in this way you can have multiple executions of the tests, wherein you can see this individual test executed, right? And even you have a search option also here, right? So you can search here, let's say Facebook, right? So using substring you can open, or even if I write here book, so it is actually searched, right? If suppose there are hundreds and thousands of tests, so you can search the tests here, right? So in this way we have seen how to generate a report with the help of extend report, and how to have a screenshot attached on the report. Okay, so yes, is this clear? Is this understood? How to take screenshot, how to attach it on the